हाँ यहाँ पे पेस्ट कर दो।
उनको बिछाए उन बिन चले मोरा ये जिया
Good evening, guys.
Good evening, sir.
So, how's your day?
Good, sir. How's yours?
Yeah, going good as of now. So, voice is audible and board is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, today we are going to discuss totally on Git alone. What is Git? Okay, the topics we are going to cover is like what's Git, why Git, and how Git is used. Okay, these are the three topics which we are going to see today. And yesterday there was a little bit turbulence in the class. From today onwards, if at all any doubts, let it know and just make it clear in the class itself. Okay. And I don't want to go beyond output. We have to be on track. Okay. Let's start this. We'll wait for 5 more minutes for your friends to join and then we'll start the class. Okay. And also with respect to this, we'll see features of Git. So meanwhile, अभी क्या है कुछ doubts है अभी like anything you can ask at random. So how many of you are from like pure coding background? I came to know that Javed is from coding background as a web developer. Yeah, Javed, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Actually, yeah, it's
I just saw your profile on LinkedIn yesterday. I think you saw me. I sent you a request like this.
yes, sir. Actually, I'm working as a remote developer. It's a startup uh, which is in Austria.
Actually, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
How come that? Okay, we'll discuss at the end of the class
Okay, all right, sir.
because I require remote basically.
Okay, all right.
Okay, folks, let's start the class. I think most of the people have joined the session, I guess. Okay, so let me just start with a small story where why Git came into existence. Yes. Okay, 1 second. I have to make some small changes. Host and co-host done. And yep. Okay. So once upon a time, there used to be another source of storing the work and dividing the work that is called as similar to be like Git that is known as store or version control system, which was previous to Git. Okay, initially it was developed, and most of the developers were using that. So far, so successful. Okay, but unfortunately, what happened is that was made totally paid version. Okay, that is called as BitKeeper. Initially, this is a version control system which was initially started, and Linux kernel was built using this. Linux kernel was initially hosted and being built using this. But later what happened? This was copied by some other person, and so they revoked the whole free process and made everything priced version. Okay, there is no free version available in BitKeeper. So Linux was created by a man called Linus. You might have listened his name. Some Linus Torvalds, I guess. Torvalds. Okay, so this is the guy who thought that we have to have our own version control system, and there he created the system known as Git. Okay, so what is Git? Let me make it in two simple steps. It is a necessity driven application where each and every work, every engineer throughout the world uses to store their current work and update their current project and maintain it in a sequential manner. That means, let me give a small example. There is A, B, C, and this is a single project. Okay, A contributes his part, B contributes his part, C contributes his part. And Git is such a tool, such a beauty of software engineering. It helps us to merge all these difference of code into a single project and helps us to run it in a simple manner. That means, see, let's say A has created the UI of an application, B has created the backend, and C is maintaining the databases. Okay, all these three together comprise of a website. So what this DevOps guy do? This DevOps guy, once the project is completed by all these software engineers or software developers, he'll just merge all the parts of the development into a single project and submit it or host it on a server. Okay, so Git helps us to coordinate among different software developers all over the or throughout the world who have a network connection with them. Okay, so yesterday we also came across a point called centralized and decentralized. Can anyone say what is centralized and decentralized version? Basically, let me just write the full form. Version control system and decentralized version control system. Can anyone specify what these two terms mean? Any idea? Any idea is fine. Come on. What is centralized version control?
Only used for central server.
Okay. And any other? Okay. Let me do the thing.
Well, I think in the centralization system, higher authority, they takes the decisions regarding the project, I think.
You're kind of near to the solution, but it is kind of okay. So any other output or shall I start? Anything is fine. It's you're in a learning phase, right? Right or wrong is not a point here. Okay, let's start. So let's say you have a repository, or again, repository is nothing but where your code gets stored. Okay, repository refers to storing your code on server. Storing your code on server. You'll come to use this word very pretty frequently once you're into job or you're training under us. Okay, it will be pretty frequent to be listening. Okay, once you're entering into the web development part, you listen this word frequently. Now, let's see. There is a central repository which is on a server. Okay, again, what is server and all, we'll see that tomorrow's class, because tomorrow is basic introduction to web design, right? So in that, we'll get to know what is server and all these basic parts will be covered in that. Okay, no need to worry about that. Now, let's say again, A is working here, B is working, C is working on the same project. Okay, now in the centralized repository or centralized version control system, what happens is A have to do the change to this particular repository alone, B have to do the change in this particular repository, and C has to do the change in this repository alone. So once the change is done, they have to commit the changes. Okay, that means let's say A has added a file called A plus B. Okay, so now initially he have to update the made once the A functionality is done. That means A has created his part. So now he pushed the code to the repository. Now, if B want to work this, he have to pull the code. That means he have to update his local repository and he have to give his code again. That again, this is going to be some C plus D. So once this is done, C have to wait until this is happening and he have to update the code from repository. That means he have to pull the updated code of A and B together into his repository C, okay, into his system, and he have to work on that and he have to give his own development. Are you getting this? Unless until one work is done from this user and the second work has to be updated. So this is going to be a sequential order. Whereas again, this we require an active internet connection for us to work with this centralized version control system. And another drawback of this is the whole work is stored in a single server, and whenever the server crashes in a sense, again, somehow by natural calamities, okay, by using by such things, if the server has crashed, then the whole development will be what happens to the development once the server is down. It will be down. No updates will be taking place. The website will be down because it is all happening in server itself. So this is what a centralized version control system is. Whereas decentralized, let's take a look on how the decentralized work. You'll have a same content here, repository. Okay, and again, in this, A, B, C. Again, these are repos. Okay, so this is a centralized repository, or we can also call it as server. Now what we'll do is, initially, we'll pull the code into our local system, okay, local repository, and we'll work on it. Okay, we'll work on it and we'll commit the change to the repo and update. So now once the work is done, it will be pushed back into the repo. What is it called? Push. Now, same happens to all the three parts. So what is the difference between centralized and decentralized here? Any idea? We just added another repo here, right? So what is this repo actually does or actually help us is, we have to, whenever you're working with Git, you have to copy your whole repository online into your local repository or local system, and then you have to work on that particular system. Once the work is done, you can push the code into your server or Git account. So now pulling and pushing. So what happens here, though, and again, this server, since it is a remote server, we can have multiple copies of it. You know how the Google works faster? Like how the Google having this such a huge data, and even then it is going to give us ample of requirements or ample of suggestions faster, because it has its servers. Even we don't need to fear about the loss of data. Why? It has multiple servers placed across the world, such that our data which we store, let's say 1 GB of data has been stored by us, it will be distributed among all the different servers in different copies. That means each server will have 1 GB of our data which we have stored in our account. Okay, so once unfortunately this server has been crashed due to some calamities, though we can get that particular code from another remote server. If this is also crashed, we'll get. But crashing all the servers is like doomsday. It doesn't happen. If it happens, we can't control it, right? Okay, so the advantage of this is going to be, we maintain our code locally. Okay, and we update the code locally, and then commit the changes to repo, and from there we'll push the code. Okay, so on pushing the code, let's say A, B, C has pushed the code together. Okay, in that case, what happens? Any idea? Let's say A has added A plus B, B also added A plus B, and C added some different part, C plus D. So what happens here? In this case, Git will raise a merge conflict. Okay, so these two files are being sent by two different software developers, whereas both represent the same work, And so it raises the ticket, raises a query saying that, Are Baba, A or B working on the same ticket. So I can't merge this to my original repo. Whereas C is sending a different work, and so it will be merged into central repository or in the Git server. Are you getting this, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Any
No,
doubts so
sir.
far? What is that?
I didn't understand the centralized version control system.
Repeat once, sir. Repeat once.
Okay.
One sec, sir. I just want to add something here.
Okay.
Just suppose you have a repository. Can you please just give it a hint? Like it could be an e-commerce project. Suppose there are 3 developers, like A, B, and C. They are pushing their changes to repo, which could be anything. The name of the project, like
Yes.
e-commerce. So I think this will be clear because it's kind of.
It's kind of.
I mean, people will be confused regarding
Acha,
this.
acha.
What is the repo, A, B,
Okay.
and C.
Okay.
Like we have a team of developers and we have a single project. It could be any e-commerce project or any project. The developer A, me, I mean, we are,
He telling take 3 months A, B,
I
C.
got it. Javed, okay, guys, wait. Let me show you what is the stages of Git code, and then we'll get back to the centralized and the decentralized system. Okay, let's see what are the stages first. You'll understand how the code is getting updated and all, so that you can get a clear idea how this centralized and decentralized works.
Could be, sir.
Okay, let's just get back to a new. I'll get back to this part once again. Just a small explanation part is going on. Okay, so now let's see. Let's say. Okay, once again. So guys, is new folder, new tab visible to you? Yes, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. GitHub.com. Okay. So this is how a GitHub account going to look like. Let me just get back to. Let's start with sign out part. Okay. So everybody in the class, you have to create your own Git account. Initially, it must be a requirement for you to solve. And even for your interviews, you'll be sharing this Git link. And you'll be updating your projects in your GitHub account so that your companies or the companies that you are applying for will check your GitHub account and then will take your interview process ahead. Okay. So now, yeah, Mayank, what's your doubt? Mayank, any doubt or lower your hand? Okay. So now we have to sign in. If you are a new user, sign up into your account and give all the details. Enter your email. These are the details you have to enter on your own. It is a simple UI experience you can get, and you'll see how what are the details it will be. It is just simple to be logged in. Okay. So once your sign up is done, what you have to do is you have to enter your email ID and password, or you can give your username. Okay, let me just give this. क्या हो गया इसको? What the hell is this? I just created this yesterday, and so the new password is. So once you logged into your website, okay, what just happens here is you have to see there are multiple applications or multiple users here, right? So initially you have to create or you have to see what's going on in this website. There is a plus symbol where you can create a new repository, or you can import a new repository, or you can be a new organization, project, or gist. We are not going on into all these three things. Why? Because it is a company level of attribution, but we just require that just to repository level. Once you're into company, you'll know what is gist, what is organization, and what is project. Organization is nothing but, let's say you start a company and you want to have your code under this organization, then you'll create a new organization and you'll ask your developers to use this particular organization to merge or to save your code online. Whereas new project refers to an individual project. If you want to work online, so this new project is to be used. Whereas new repository is at your user level. New repository is user level, that is, it is user specific. If I say new repository, then what it will ask? It will ask for the repository name going to be. Let's say I'll give test sample. Okay, so it will check for the name. If it is available, it will assign us the name with, and then description we have to give how the description going to be. I'll say sample repo for explaining Git. Okay, so there are two kinds of repositories possible. One is public and the other is private. Once upon a time, there private is going to be a pricing version, but still now Git has made the private. Any public account can be privatized. Now that means any free accounts can also make their repositories private. Private allows the user. That means whoever signs in and whoever the user. Let's say here the user is Surya, right? So if he gives permission to Javed, he can access that particular repository with the private access. Only the user who created this repository can give permissions to the guys what he can do or what he cannot do. Whereas in public, anyone whoever has the link of that particular GitHub account can access each and every repo in that particular GitHub account. That means, see, I'm giving a public, right? If you have the GitHub account of GitHub link of my account, you can access all the repos, whatever public in that, and you can maintain or you can check what's going on in that particular code. Okay. So now what you'll do is we'll add this particular README file, which says that what we are going to do in that. Okay. README is just a preface of your repository. Is that clear? README is a preface of your repository. And this license, again, this differs if you are, see, there are multiple codes or multiple developers working on different codes. That means some can be working on open source, some can be working on a patented version, right? Patented codes. In that case, you'll be, and some also be working on someone's, let's say A is working on project and I'm taking the copyright from them. So in that case, I'll be providing these license tab as well. Okay, just in order to specify that I'm using someone's code here, or you cannot use my code for the new person. Okay, so now once I hit the create repository, now it has been created. Clear? So initially, this is how your created repository is going to look like online. Okay, you create a repository, right? Now let's see. So if you want to give what your whole repository is about in this readme.md, you have to add or you have to edit some information regarding how this is going to work. Let me share another file. You'll get how the readme.md is going to look like. 1 second. Desktop. Okay. 1 second, guys. New share. So see here, again, this is another GitHub account which I maintain for ATNU. This 404 is for, okay. Let me just log in to new private window. github.com. Sign in. At the rate. Okay, let me just check the password. There is a mistake here in this username, Surya Teja. Okay. Now it will work. Okay, fine. So this is how a new, now in this, if I check, if I want to go to Surya 1669 for repository, that means some other repository, right? My other repository where I have been storing and doing all these changes, right? I want to go into this repository and see what is this particular user doing. So now what I have to do, I have to simply go and check for that profile name, Surya 16695. Username will also work here. Repo users, one user is available. So now if I click on this, I can see what's his whole repository is holding on. Guys, the screen is getting shared, right?
No, sir, I don't think so. This screen is getting shared.
Sir,
Structure.
404 is pages coming to him.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Actually, it's on Chrome.
Desktop. Is it clear? Is it visible here?
Yes, sir, it's visible now.
Okay, see here. What I'm trying to do here is, this is another new Git account. This is another new Git account, which is suryateja-atnu. Whereas I have opened another Git account in this where we have created a new repository. This is going to be Surya 16695. There are two Git accounts open in my laptop. Okay. Now I'm just going to check. That means if you're going to see what going on in my repositories, what you have to do, you have to simply have to add your required accounts username and you have to check out the search or this search thing. And if you see users, you'll get how many users are there with the required name. And in that you can go and iterate. If he has a public repositories, you can access each and every repository in that, and you can see what's going on in that code. If I added this, see, there are some files in this, right? So you can access these files and you can also do some changes only if you have forked it into your laptop. So now let's say I want to make some changes. Code Surya 16695. 1 second. The library which I have created is test sample, right? In that. So this is my initial repository I have created in Surya 16695 account. But from this particular Surya Teja, that means another new user want to make some changes in this. What he can do is he have to clone this code. Okay, he have to clone this code into his local repository, and then he have to make it runnable in his projects. Okay, so this is how we can copy a code from one user to another user. Whereas, so this is one part. Let's get back to our actual account. What is this account? Okay, so see here, if I want to make this project work locally, that means if I want to make run this project in my local system and have to do some changes, I have to do few steps to make the local folder as a git folder. Instead of cloning this, so I can make, see here, what I'm trying to do here is I have to make my local package or local folder into a git accessible folder, right? So for that, main tags and add file. So this is how we are going to make the whole folder in local as a,
The screen is not. Your face is.
1 second, I think network issue. I'll off the camera. Is that going to affect? No, right? So this will be helping to. 1 second, I'm sharing the screen. Guys, is it now getting shared?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So what, see here, I'm now again, we have to do two steps while we are creating our our workable repository. First step is create your repository in your GitHub account. What is that? Create your repository in your GitHub account and see, now I'm going to create another repository, a sample one, which is available. So once I say create repository, it is going to redirect me to some new page, right? So what's happening here? We have to quick set up this file in our local. Okay, in order to make changes in our local, it is asking us to do these all things. So create a new repository on the command line. So how am I going to read this? How am I going to make this? We have to create our local repository, right? That means in my file system, I have to create a new Git accessible repository. To do that, he is asking, or this is Git is asking me to do such things. What are those things? Git, I have to run all these commands one by one in such a way that I'll get my local folder as a Git accessible folder. Are you following me, guys?
Yes,
Any
sir.
doubt, just let me know in between, because once you get this clear idea, it will be easy for you to solve. So let me just do the same name, temp sample. So I have created my temp sample here, which is a local folder. In this, open in terminal. So what they're asking us to do, we have to copy each and every script, every line of the script, and we have to execute this here. So now again, git init, control C. So now initialize the Git. What did it say here? Initialized empty Git repository in so and so location. So now what it just made here? Test sample has now officially became a local Git repository. Are you getting this? We still haven't merged the remote version and local version, but still we have our own local Git repository. Okay, so now let's add the second line. Git add readme.md.
Can you again repeat it, sir?
What is that?
Can you again repeat once again?
Repeat once again, sir.
Keep your mouth a little bit. Sorry, keep your mic a little bit far and you can speak. Who is trying to speak? Hello.
Yes, sir. Can you once again explain?
Okay. See here. So, okay, let me get back to my whiteboard. That is my whiteboard. Where it is. Okay. So see, this is my Git account, Git repository. Okay, what I just did here, initially, I have created the repo online. Yes or no? First step is that, right?
Yes, sir.
So once this is done, it will redirecting us to a page where we have to get series of commands to run such that in your system, there is a folder, right? Which we want to make it as our Git folder. Yes or no? First, we have to make our local so that in such a way, whatever the code happening in this remote repository can be copied into our local, and also we can push our work so far happening in our local folder into Git. For that to be happening, we have to make our local folder a Git accessible folder. Is that clear? In order to get or push the code, we have to make this a Git accessible. So for that to be happening, these commands which was provided in the GitHub account will be useful to make our local folder a Git accessible folder. Is that making any sense to you, Ajay? Yes or no? Will be working fine for me.
Yes,
Dinesh, sorry,
Yes,
Dinesh.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so now that is what I'm trying to do. I'm making the commands. I'm running the commands in my Git account. Okay, so what did this echo do? Echo just created a echo just seeing for whether there is a readme.md file in this folder or not, or else Git in it. Now I'll explain each and every small commands here. So what is Git init trying to do here is Git init refers to initialization. Okay, so it is what making our local repository as a Git accessible repository. Is that clear? That is why it has given a message saying that initialized empty Git repository where in home so and so path, and it has added the .git file. Whenever your laptop folder is having a .git, it represents that particular folder is a Git accessible folder. Is that clear? Make some noise, guys. Yes or no?
yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Any doubts, raise your hands, or you can ask in between. Any doubts? I'm going to next step here.
Clear, sir.
Okay. Okay, before executing this command, we want to see two different works. Okay, so now our idea is to what? Make our local folder as a Git accessible one. Okay, so now there are four stages in accessing our code from the Git. Okay, what are the? There are 4 different stages for us to make. Let me tell you. In Git lifecycle. Okay, one is in your local, we have the code which is unmodified. That means a crude code which doesn't have any changes. Okay, from the unmodified stage, what you will do after that, you will do some changes which is going to be modified. Yes or no? And after this modification is done, this is now set to the stage called as staged. Okay, staged is a situation in Git cycle which states that this particular file, whatever you're working on, is now done with some changes. Is that clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, let's get back to the next stage. Next stage is commit. What is that? Commit stage. In this stage, what we'll do is, we'll say that we'll store this particular updated file with the timestamp. Are you getting this? We'll store the, let's say I have a file, let's say a blank document. In that, I modified saying that A plus B in it. Okay, now within the staged thing, what I do, Are Baba, mera kaam ho gaya is document pe, and that document is holding A plus B. And in the commit stage, what we'll do is, we'll add this document A plus B with respect to timestamp. Let's say abhi 8:28, sorry, 9:44 hua, right? So what it will do is, in the commit, it will say 9:44 or some minutes ago. It is going to show some minutes ago with respect to the file. Okay, why do we use commit is, again, commit helps us understand how many different changes are being made once the change has been done. That means in the first change, I have made A plus B and I committed it. In the second change, what I'll do, I'll get A plus B here. So what I'll add, I'll just add A plus C. Okay, so now the modified is going to be A plus B plus C. So this will be staged. And plus timestamp is 9:45. What just happened? In a minute time, one commit has been changed with A plus B file in it. And in the second minute, I have added some changes to it. And this is what the changes I added at that particular time. Okay. So this particular commit helps us understand what we have done at different intervals of time. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, once again, someone asked me for Rahul. Okay. 1 second, Rahul. What happened here? So, Rahul, nothing. See, we have a main operation or main utilization of Git is that to source, to make our source code present in our local, and we can modify it and do some changes, and then we have to push the code. Yes or no, Rahul? Sorry, Rahul.
Yes, Mr.
Yeah.
Teja.
So in order to do that, we have to have the code in different stages, right? So unmodified code is nothing but a sample or whatever is present in the Git, we have cloned into our local system. Okay. If you are cloned, this is a cloned code. If it is not, it is a sample code which have started, initialized. Is it clear? Unmodified stage.
Yes, got it. So we are doing this from our local, right?
Yeah, this is totally in our local, still commit, it is still in our local system only.
Okay.
In your laptop alone.
Okay, later we will push that source code.
Exactly. That is going to be our
Git,
next side or next part where we'll be pushing the code.
Okay.
So
got
here
it.
It will enter into our GitHub where it will be stored remotely. Okay. So this is a life cycle of whatever you're writing in your code place will be entering into remotely in these many steps. Again, guys, Git and GitHub are two different things. Can anyone differentiate between them?
Git is local repository for the local. GitHub is like
It
universal.
is a version control system for laptop, and GitHub is a remote server.
Okay, so different answers, but yet little bit close. So Git is again a software. GitHub is remote server. Major difference is this. Using Git will connect to GitHub. Okay, and Git is Git will help us access the server. Clear? Git or GitHub की difference?
Yes.
Guys, any doubt so far?
सर इसमें मैंने सुना कि इसमें स्टेज और अनस्टेज एरिया होता है जो हम ऐड करने से पहले यूज करते हैं.
Again. Can you repeat your doubt again, Jay?
Okay, it is like GitHub में स्टेज और अनस्टेज एरिया होता है.
हाँ.
तो जब हम Git ऐड करते हैं तब वो स्टेज होता है.
Exactly. That
तो इसमें जो आपने किया.
No, Jay. If I said when we are adding this, it will be under stage, you'll get confused, right? So if I go into this terminal part and if I say explain it while entering the command, you'll get a clear idea. Okay, just little bit, you'll be understand. Okay, just a minute or two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is Jay referring here is, see here, I'm trying to add git add readme.md. Okay, if I press enter, what just happened? It has changed the status of readme.md to staged version. That means, see here. So initially readme.md has been created and we have done some changes. That means we haven't done here anything literally, but it thinks that we have done with the changes of readme.md. And now when I added the change from modified added to git, that means when I call git add and the file name, what it will think of is, so, okay, the user has done with the changes and he want to make it or add it to his GitHub account. Okay, so then it will be coming under the process called as staged. Is this clear, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. 1 second, let me just close this terminal. Okay, so now once it is done, let us get back. Oh, this is not the branch. Let us get back to our GitHub. Where is it? No. Okay, here it is. So now what just asking us, okay, your whatever the changes you have done is now staged. Now what you have to do after stage? We have to make sure that changes have been stored or saved locally with respect to time. So for that, what we are going to use? We are going to use git commit. So let's copy this and get back to our terminal and paste it. If I press enter, okay, this is another basic example or error you'll get because I removed my git and reinstalled it. That's the reason it is asking me to provide username and password. Okay, so guys, whenever you have downloaded your git, see, Mac, Apple machine में git already रहता है. In with respect to Windows and Linux, you have to download git and you have to give the credentials. Okay, once you are done with the git, that means once you have downloaded the git, what you have to do is you have to configure your git email ID and git username. Okay, email ID what you are used to use it to sign in your git account, and username what you have provided. Okay, so now and again I just don't want to add it globally, and so what it is saying, in order to make this configure your account with respect to this folder, it is saying that remove this git -- global, right? So what I'll just do is git config user.email, and that is going to be suryateja.saginala@nu.com. So my email address has been configured. Now it is asking for us to configure our username as well. So let's say git config user.name It is once again, let me check the username. Surya Teja hyphen attain. Surya Teja hyphen attain. Okay, so I have configured my Git account with respect to this folder. Now let me run that Git commit. Okay, what just happened here? Can anyone read me for it? Is it clear, guys? First, is it visible and clear to you all?
Yeah, clear.
Yes.
Okay. No, so far no doubts, right? Okay. See here, what it just displayed us. It just given that one file has been changed, and what is that change going to be? One insertion. Okay. What we just did, we have create. It is under create mode, and it is created readme.md. Okay, still the changes are in local itself. If I refresh the page, it's still going to be the same. Okay, if I refresh this GitHub page, it is still going to be the same. What I just do, what I have to do here now, I have to make or use those all other commands as well. Okay, let me just help you with this command. So what is specifying here? Git branch -m main. So guys, once again, let me get back to whiteboard. So see here, git branch is such a beautiful command. Okay, it helps us to create a branch, okay, delete a branch, update, and also not only that, it can also be used to check, help us list all the branches. Okay, so when you're into development stage, you are supposed to create branches to a working repository, and you'll be raising your merge request so that those branches will get merged. Is that making any sense to you? Guys, any doubts so far?
No. Yes, sir. Can you again?
Polo, what's your doubt?
That creative bridge, sir.
Create.
Yes, sir.
Here, this part.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see here, git branch is a command. That part is clear, right? This is a command, helps us to do all these things. We can create a branch from this. We can delete a branch from this. We can update and list all the branches available. But here what we are trying to do is in this terminal, in this particular script, what we are trying to do is we are trying to say that Baba, make my branch to main. Okay, if I press enter, what just happened here is now my current branch is going to be main. So, okay, we have other different command, which is git status. Okay, which helps us to check how what files are being committed and which repository or which branch we are in. Okay, see here. What branch it is representing us? It is saying that on branch main and nothing to commit. Working tree is clean. Why it is saying nothing to commit? We haven't done any changes after this commit. Are you getting this?
Okay, sir.
We haven't done any changes after this commit, and so it is saying that nothing to commit. Let's say
What is working tree?
Again, working tree is clean is nothing but working tree in the sense the repository which you have created is nothing but tree with respect to Git. Okay, so if you are going to create something else, it is going to be created under a different branches. Okay, in order to make so what Git thinks is repository is your root folder, and whatever the work done by different people is going to be as branches to it. Are you getting that?
Yes, sir.
Guys, Dinesh, अभी कुछ doubt है? Clear हो गया?
No, clear, sir.
Okay, cool. So now, once this status is done, okay, again, we can also do another request, one that is going to be git checkout. Okay, so git checkout is also a command which helps us to change between different branches. What is that? It helps us to change between different branches. Since we have only one branch, that is main, we have to give the name after this git checkout. So now already on my displays it. If you want to create a new branch, what we have to say? Git branch. Let me give me some name for the branch. I'll say BR1. Okay, now it has been created a branch. I'll just say git checkout BR1. So switch it to what just happened here. It just switched it to another branch that is nothing but BR1. So now, whatever the changes you're going to do to your local folder, okay, that is going to be now under BR1 branch. Are you getting this? Is it? It will be a little bit confusing once you started doing in your laptop. It will help you a lot. You will understand it clearly. Okay, just try to do it on your own after the class. It will be more helpful for you guys. Okay, I just want to get back to git main branch. Checkout main. So okay, switch to branch main. Now let's execute the last but two command in the list. So what is it saying? Now we are going to connect to the remote. We are going to connect to the remote. That means we are going to connect to our GitHub account. So what is that saying? Git remote add origin. So origin is what? Origin is going to be HTTP or GitHub account. Our link to the GitHub account where our repository has been stored. So what we are literally doing is asking our local laptop's Git software to make origin as this particular link. If I press enter, it just happened. What happened in this step? Can anyone explain?
Now it is connected to GitHub.
Exactly. So Git helped us to connect to GitHub with that particular link. And last but not least, which helps us to do our work stored online. What is that? Git push command. And if I press enter, see again, git push -u origin master. U is referring to, I have closed that thing, I guess. Okay. U is referring to what to say. It helps us to unanimously elect the branch which you are going to select. Even without -u, -u also works, but giving that, it will undisturbedly, it will add the whole folder or push the whole committed files into our main branch in the GitHub account. Let's press enter. Okay, so username, it's asking us, what is the username that we have specified? Surya Teja -@u. Is that it? Or I did something else. Yep. Here, Naya account, see Siddharth, and password is going to be okay. Once the password is done, something is wrong. Authentication failed. Baba, मेरा password मुझसे चल रहा है. Okay.
Sir, actually, the thing is you are doing it correctly, but what happens because
no, my password, I'm not entering it correctly.
No, you are entering. Okay, you can try it. Okay, but it's actually
Okay. Now, recent development. Yes, Javed. It is like recent development has changed. It is asking for authentication tokens.
Yes, sir.
Yep. So we have to get to these tokens first. Okay, that is another part of 1 second. Let's just try it again. So why is it not taking here is because see, support for password authentication was removed. That means once upon a time, that means like hardly 6 or 7 months before, it's working for password authentication alone. But now it is expecting us to have authentication tokens for connecting to our GitHub account. So these tokens will be generated at times, and it will be 1 second. Let me just close this thing and let me just get back here. Hmm. So now we have to generate our authentication token. So are you seeing this, guys? How we are going to do this?
No, sir. Screen is not available.
Baba. At least my face is visible, right? Is that, or even it is
No.
not visible?
No, sir.
Sir.
No, sir.
Okay, now is it getting shared? 1 second. Okay, I think it is getting shared, right?
Yes, it's visible now.
Okay, so we have to do 2 steps to get this process to be done. Account settings, or we can go from this as well. Settings and go down.
Sir, developer settings it is.
Yes. Developer settings.
Yeah.
Get personal access tokens. Generate new token. So one token will be expiration can be set. Okay. What's this token for? To push the code from local. Okay, so select scopes. It is going to be scope defines the access. So again, so why is this personal access token is previously what the Git thought of is whoever having the password can make changes to that particular Git account. Yes or no? Guys?
Yes,
If
yes.
it is with respect to password, right? So what Git thought of is if you can generate an access token, okay, it will be available from the user who have generated, and the user who is going to use that will get that access token from the user who generated it, right? So such that we can restrict the changes being made by anonymous users. Clear?
Yeah,
Guys,
Yes, sir.
Clear,
did I
clear, clear.
Yes.
made some did I make it a little complex?
No. It was understandable.
Okay, let me repeat it again then. Okay, guys, any doubts so far?
No.
No, sir, clear.
Okay, let's get the access token. So we don't have to, let's say we want to act from full control of private repositories. We don't require this workflow update, GitHub Actions workflow, no packages, delete packages, admin all public key. No, we are not at all any of such kind. We are just a simple user to generate token. So now we have got our generated token. Let's copy it.
I think, sir, you need to give some permissions because I think while adding something on the project and while pushing it won't accept those changes. I think because this thing happened with me.
Okay. Let me just copy this first. Copied. Generate a new token. We'll see what are the repos here. What are the changes it requires. Okay, it is asking for repo, full control of private repositories. Our repository is public, so we don't require this, right? So let's workflow, update GitHub action workflows. We are not doing any big projects. So workflow is not a matter to our current account. So again, packages, we are not using any packages, which are package history. So we are not using such packages, right? We're just trying to access this. Once you're into project, you'll get all these things sorted out. Are you getting the idea? Guys,
Yes, sir.
is it helping? Yeah. Okay. Now what we have to do is we have to copy the token. Okay. Get back. Okay. I think I have copied it right. Where is terminal? So git push. Now what you have to do, it is remote, please see this particular one to authenticate. So now let's open this link. So what is it saying? So you have to go and generate the unique random item for authentication. So it is all going to help you with why we require this and how do we require this. Okay. So now let's get back to our running part. So git push space https colon / GitHub access token, that must be pasted. Paste. Now we have got the access token at github.com / GitHub username Surya Teja -nu / repository name. What is my repository name? Sample1. Now dot git. Let's just push enter. What is it saying? The request URL has a 403. Okay, I missed something to add in this. Let's just check it.
No, sir. Do once again that push request after the
I
user.
think I have done some changes. I did some mistake in the command itself. Git push
Yes, sir.
with
No, sir. There's.
access token. Let's just check it's not a mistake, right? Okay, here it is. So it is saying to give the name as it is. Okay, we done the same thing, right? Yep. Okay, let's just check another account. Okay, this is going in another way. Not this we require. GitHub community. This will clear our doubt, I guess. अरे यार इसमें भी नहीं है. What's wrong in my command? Let me just check.
No, sir, yeah, I think you need to again push it after the username. Just enter your
No.
token.
I already for pushing itself, it is required, right? Okay. Once let me do one thing. Push origin main. This is what you're trying to say, right?
Yes, yes, sir. No, the first, not the whole. Yes, exactly that one.
Okay. For here, username is going to be my username. Attend you. Okay, and here.
And the token, the access token.
Don't think this
Just
is going to work. Okay, let's just see. See, it's not. Have to give it in this way. Sorry, guys, I haven't used my Git so far with this access token. Okay, that's the reason I'm getting this error. I used to give password, and this since it is stored in my laptop, it doesn't ask me to what to say, push with access token as such kind. Okay, once you store these commands, it will be working fine. Let's just check again online and we'll confirm it what to do and how to do. Okay, it's my mistake again. I haven't updated it so far. Or you can also check and update me, right? Once check in your laptops and just buzz me in the chat. Guys, are you checking? Check it in your laptops once.
Yes, sir.
I just did the same thing, right? Oh. Okay, I got what I did mistake. Okay. Surya Teja hyphen ATNU colon. Is it what it is referring to? GitHub access token at .git. Nope, it's not working. 403. Okay, I think.
can you do one sudo?
Let me just no. Let me just create another access token and we'll just update it. Okay, is there any other solution, Javed? You're trying to say something.
Yeah, I just try sudo because I told you earlier there are some permissions.
No. I have given permission with this account in this particular application one, right? Sorry, in this particular folder one, because I haven't configured it with global. I just configured it to local. Okay, so sudo is not going to work, I guess. Okay, let me just do that as well. Sudo. It's asking for password. Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't mind, can we skip this step and when you have the solution, we can do it so that we don't lose our focus.
Just a minute. You guys have to check for 2 minutes. We'll start to the next topic at 10:20. Okay. It won't.
Right.
It is not a bit waste of time. Okay. It is still useful for you to push the code.
All right.
Okay.
I think the sample one is in the other user, the Surya Teja 665 something. Are you using the wrong account?
That's what I'm thinking about. I think I have created that token for some other account. Let me just check and I'll update it.
Yeah, I think you should log in through the other account and
No,
then use it. The sample one was created in the other account, I think.
sample one was created. Yes. Yep. The confusion is with respect to that. I know. So what is the name in this? Unfortunately, this is also having the name sample1.git.
Uh-huh.
ఇదే ఇచ్చాడు పిచ్చినప్పుడు మరి యాక్సెస్ కామన్ హెల్ప్ చేయాలి కదా మరి దానికి.
ఒక్కసారి దాంట్లోకి వెళ్ళి చెప్తా. రే టెంప్ శాంపుల్ లో ఉన్నావు, దాంట్లోకి వెళ్ళి సిడి శాంపుల్ వన్ లోకి వెళ్ళు.
అవసరం లేదు, టెంప్ శాంపుల్ మొత్తాన్ని పెట్టేసిన.
రే నువ్వు శాంపుల్ వన్ గిట్ ఉంది, దాన్ని క్లోన్ చేసుకో.
కాదు క్లోన్ చేసింది అది. ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ ఎందులో ఉన్నాను నేను? లెవరెక్స్ వర్క్ లో ఉన్నాను. లెవరెక్స్ వర్క్ టెంప్ శాంపుల్ రివ్యూ టెంప్ అంతే ఉంది. అది
నువ్వు శాంపుల్ వన్ స్టేటస్ కూడా నీకేం వస్తుంది చూడు, దాని లోపల ఉంటాయి, ఇది వస్తుంది కదా
ఆన్ బ్రాంచ్ మెయిన్. Okay, I think this will be your assignment for the day. Okay, I'll just check from my side as well. Just on the
Sure.
Meanwhile, let's continue the topic.
Sir, mine
push हो गया क्या?
What do you mean?
हाँ? यार complete करो sentence को.
Mine was completed, sir. It uploaded also.
And with the command?
With the command git plus u origin mine. Same as the normal process: git init, git admin, git commit, git branch, git remote add, and then git push u origin mine.
Okay, maybe I think I have two different accounts going on in my laptop. That might be
no,
the
sir. It might be because you have opened a git branch b1.
Even that is going to work. Git username repo.git username, your username, password, your token. So Mujib, how is it going to work? The link which you have shared. So I have to replace that username with my username, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me just try that as well, because I never faced this in before. Git clone is not going to work. We're not thinking about clone. We're going to push the code.
So while cloning, we have to give the access token. Try that.
Also level. Guys, try with your laptops once. I'll give you 5 minutes of time. You have to check, you have to deploy all your push code into your GitHub and raise your hands. Okay?
Sir, I have pushed it, sir.
You done with the pushing thing. Guys, all of the 20 people, just do with that. Create a Git account, create a copy of it and update it. Next step is going to be the same. Okay, that's why I'm asking you to do that. Okay, before adding that to remote, let me just check this part again. I think this is going to work. Sample. Open link, new tab, your profile, developer settings, personal access tokens, generate new token,
Repo.
repo update.
Select the repo down. There is
Okay. Generate token. So let me just copy this.
clone that.
Okay. So copied and terminal part. Git remote. And paste .github.com already exist. How to remove remote origin?
I think we need to remove that.
Yes. I'm removing it.
Git remote set URL. Version git new URL.
I think it's git remote rm and
Yes. Git remove remove set hyphen URL
Origin git new URL.
origin and git colon. Let me just copy this. Paste.
Is not a good command. Git remote.
Sorry. Remote. Okay. Now let me try git push -u origin master.
Master layer. Main.
Shit.
Main.
It have to work now. Or just taking it this long. So once this works, we still have 4 commands to take care of. One is git merge, git pull, git clone. So 3 commands. Once these 3 commands are done, we are completely out of git for today. So that's the reason I'm hanging back on git push. And this is still running. Okay, let me just add this to which is not found. Sorry, folks, it's my total shit mistake. Copy. Terminal. Okay. Leave this thing. We can do one more thing, guys. Instead of doing this, okay. Let me just clear this first. Clear and folder structure. Let me remove this. Sorry. Delete. Okay. Now new folder. Temp. Enter. Open in terminal. Let's just copy this and use git clone. Git clone from the link. You appear to have cloned an empty repository. Fine. So we have cloned it in this. Now let's just add some file in this touch test.txt. Okay. Let me just add it. Git add, or else let me just check what is git. Oh, I think I'm not sharing the screen. Am I sharing the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is another way of doing this. Okay, instead of following all these commands to make that initial git repository, we can also clone it so that all the git file will be available. Let's just check ls what it is having. See, .git file is a secret is a hidden file. Okay, so in order to view it, you have to see ls minus all. So it doesn't have any git in it, right? So as usual, you have to do the same git init. So now it has a git repository. So let me add git add test -dot. So now it has been added. Now git commit -m. First commit. So now it is asking again for me to set these values. Let me just update the values. Git config -- global user dot email. Suryateja dot Saginala at atnu.com. Okay, now again, username Suryateja -atnu column. So now I have set all these. Now git, let me just do the commit again. Okay, first style has been done. Now let me just git push -u origin master. Sorry, origin main. Okay, now it is asking to push some reference to origin. Git remote add origin paste. Okay, git push -u origin main. What is this? Git is on branch and nothing to commit. Working is free. So username is going to be Suryateja -atnu. Password is going to be now it's still asking me for authentication. Folks, I think I'm done with this because my laptop, I can't remove all Git accounts. I'm using 3 Git accounts in this. Okay, we are just wasting time.
Not only for you, sir.
Not also.
Sir, it's not only for you, sir. Even it's administration and for us.
You need
Okay.
access to
Then
sir.
how come the guy who have completed just turn on your mic?
Yes, sir. I have already done it twice, sir.
Javed,
I have completed too, sir.
Javed, for you, is it pushed or
Yes, yes, sir. I can show you. I just want to share my screen and
One second.
do it from the
Let me just,
beginning.
make you a co-host. Okay. Okay, you can share the screen. I have 3 GitHub accounts running. One is Office, one is my personal, and now another created prior to the class. So I can't remove all the permissions in my laptop. I have to maintain some other new
Is
laptop.
it my screen shared, sir? Can you?
Yes. Your screen is visible.
Okay. So what we will do, we will create a new repository. We'll name it as sample, right, sir?
Yes.
It's public, private.
Yes.
Let's create it.
Yes.
Once it is done, what I will do.
Yep. So I'm in your root directory and making sample. Fine.
All right, so it's an echo these basic things.
Okay.
I'll initialize.
Even for you, it asks you for access token, or it just work directly with the.
I have already done that. The access token.
Okay, for your account, it is already done.
Yes, on my account, it's already done.
No, then it must be happening with access token alone, guys.
Yes,
Javed,
that's what.
Yeah, you can't help in this case.
Permissions on that.
Yeah, you can't access in this. Like you can't help us.
Origin over there.
Yes.
And I will push it to main. So it's now saying these things like access to.
Sir, but at mine it doesn't ask email or anything, sir. It just pushes it.
Okay, if that is pushing, then you are going to give. Okay, in the case of password, you have given the access token.
Yes, sir, and it's done now, and we can see that as on GitHub as well.
Even
Sir,
I tried
can
it.
I share my?
No problem. Once, guys, did you get the clear idea? Once try this on your laptops and update this. Meanwhile, I like to try this. Javed, I'm sharing my screen.
All right, sir.
Okay.
Sir, can I show something?
What is there in that? Without any password, you have shared it. Sorry, without any.
Sir, without any password, email, it doesn't ask even generate token also, sir.
What is the version of Git you are using? Huh? One second, let me try Chaudhary and I'll then update. Okay. You'll be sharing your screen. Let me just check what he has done. Is it working for me or not?
It was version 2.8.
Okay, it is working in the case of password. But previously, when I didn't, I cleared it. Yeah, shit. Oh no, I haven't cleared. See, even in this case, I have given the password as that. It is saying that fatal authentication failed. Maybe I have regenerated the ID. That's the reason it is working for me, I guess.
I think the repository we were working on that were not the same. I think
Yeah, it
that
is
might
same.
be the case.
No, it is same. I checked it. It is so and so, right? This is what the repository I'm currently in, and this is what I pasted. And guys, okay. Now let's just do one small changes here. Get back to this and then let's update the sample one. You can see test.txt which we have created is now getting updated. So now what you can do is we can also do the changes to the file. Let's say this is my first edit of the text file. Okay, so Control X, And yes. Now let's see cat test.txt. Oh, echo test.txt. Fine. So now what we just did, we have made some changes to test.txt file by using nano method, right? So what we'll do is, in order to push this to the updated branch, we'll just say git add test.tab txt. So this is my file. Okay, let me just check whether it has been updated in the file structure or not. I have to crash. Okay, again, let's just edit this. Nano test, or else manually let's just edit it. Okay, this is my first edit of the file. So take care. Now I saved it and closed it. Okay, minimize. So what I'll do is I'll just add the git into that, and I'll just say commit first text file edit. I have given my commit message here, which specifies what you have done in the previous commit. So previous, what are the changes we are done in that particular file? What is saying? First for text file edit did not match any file.
Flag.
Okay. So I have to give minus
Git commit m.
Yes, hyphen m. Okay, now it has been added. One file has been changed. And now what is it saying? One insertion has been done. What is that insertion? The lines which we have added. Now let's just push it there. Git push minus u. Okay, before going into that, let's just check git status. So now what is it saying? Your branch is what? Your branch is master, and your branch is ahead of origin master by commit. What does it mean? Can anyone specify it? It is anyone. What does it meaning to you? So your branch in this is referring to your local repository, and origin master is your git repository, which is remote. Okay, so what is it saying? Our local repository is having one commit more than our remote repository. So what we have to do, we have to push this commit. So use git push to publish your local commits. It's what it is suggesting us to do. Okay, now let's just do the push. Git push minus u origin master. So again, hyphen -u. Let me just give the password once. Okay, so every time it is asking for that particular access token. So you store that access token and access it according to your use. Copied. Paste and enter. So what just happened here? Now my files in that git has been updated. Let's just check our git account. Sample one. Refreshed. So what is it saying here? 2 commits are available. If we click on the commits, it will show what are the commits we have done so far. So what is it saying? First commit is what the message which you're going to give is to be displayed on the top and the file at the bottom. So second commit, what we just did, we have done that first text file edit. Okay, in this we can see what we have done. We have added this particular line in the first commit, which is not present in the previous commit. Are you getting this? This will show the changes what we have done with respect to previous commit. Is it clear, guys? Guys,
Clear,
is it
clear,
clear
sir.
what just happened?
Yes, yes.
It's clear, sir.
Okay, any doubts? Just fire it out faster. Still have to answer MCQs. Any doubts, guys, so far? Okay.
No.
Now, one more thing. So this is how the whole thing of Git works. We can update, we can commit, and we can check what are the versions going on. And we can also create different branches and we can merge those branches. Now let's see. Git branch, give me a name, B1. Let's say it is B1. Okay, now we have created Git branch. Now let's just check out from that. Check out B1. So switch it to branch B1. If I get git status, so on branch B1 and nothing to commit in this. Okay, let's again edit the file here. Edit the text document saying that that's it. You are done. Okay, and let me just save this file. It has been saved. Okay, so now in this branch, let me add git add. Is it text or text? It is text.txt. So added again git commit -m branch. Oh, sorry. Okay, some message. So one file is changed, one instruction is done. Now, if we push this git push -u, origin is going to be what? Here it is going to be B1. So we are trying to push the change to B1. Username Surya Teja -attend. Password is going to be the same. Okay, so see here, are you seeing this? Branch B1 set up to track remote branch B1 from origin. So if we get back to our Firefox, and if I just refresh this page, okay, see what just saying, there are two different branches in your account. One is master and the other is branch. Okay, so if I just get into the branch B1 and if I just check what are the changes that happened, so see here, that's it, you're done, is being added in this particular new branch. Are you seeing this, guys? Okay, if I just change to my master branch, it will be having the changes which have been stored in the previous commit. So the commits in B1 are still count to 1. Okay, that is going to be 1 minute ago, whereas master is going to be having commits some few minutes ago. Last commit is at 6 minutes ago. Now, if I see this branch B1, it is asking me to, we can merge these branches with respect to the changes. That is, see here, master and how can I merge? Pull request here where we want to see here. What is it saying? There is a branch B1 had recent pushes 1 minute ago. Compare and pull request. Okay, so now we are compared our changes, and now Git will give that if there is any conflict. Let's say Zavid has been working on some work on some on same work which I'm working on. Okay, he and me did the same changes to the file. Now, if he pushed the code to the master branch, so to his branch, and I pushed the code to the branch, then what will happen is there will be a conflict. What is it called? A conflict, which is called as merge conflicts. When the merge conflicts occur, you have to resolve those merge conflicts. Either we have to check across the Javid code and my code, and we have to specify which code is better, and we'll merge that code. Okay, see here. Now, what is it saying? There is no merge conflict in this case, so we can merge this. Now we have to leave a comment. Simply a file edit. Okay, so create pull request. What just happens here? Once I create this pull request, it will now be created to branch owner. Okay, so whoever owns this branch can merge this request. Now I can do what? I can generate this merge pull request. So confirm merged. So once it is done, okay, there won't be any branch here. If I go to sample one, okay, see if the still the branch is visible, but the whole work whichever it is done has been merged into text D also. See, that's it, you're done, right? This is what we done in the B1, but now it is also visible in our branch. Is it clear, guys, how the merge request works?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'll give you a simple assignment to you, not for this part. By tomorrow, you have to do at least this, okay? So I'm just pasting this link in the chat. Oh, 1 second. Chat to everyone. Control V. Guys, this is the link to your website. Sorry, to this particular website. Okay. So what you are supposed to do is you have to, send me a merge request. How you are going to send? It's up to your knowledge. You have to create, you have to do some changes to this text.file. Add your name to that and push it to your branch and ask me to merge that branch into my sample one. Is it clear? The assignment is clear, right? Guys, is the assignment clear to you all?
Sir, can you repeat?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, can you repeat once?
Now what I just did here, I made some changes by creating a new branch, right?
Yeah.
So now what you are supposed to do is you have to create your own branch from this sample one, and you have to update your name in that change. That means instead of that's it, you are done, you have to add your name in that. And you have to create a pull request, which I just did in the previous steps. Okay. By tomorrow, I'll merge those requests and I'll check how many of you have done the homework. This is kind of homework. Okay. Is it clear? Is Ronald available here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any doubts so far, guys?
No.
Okay. Let me just conclude the whole session. What we just did here, we have seen what the Git is, how the Git is centralized and decentralized. Now see them. We missed that part, right? Let me get back to that part. Okay. So we actually thought of speaking about this in the first. Now you understand, right? What we just did, because of this centralized system, we don't have access to work simultaneously. And so this has been discarded. And whereas in a repository, in a decentralized thing, anyone can have their whole code in their local system and they can push the code. Like the merge request, which we did, merge, which we just did, is a similar way. Okay. Whoever can have this repository can have it in their local repository or local laptop, and they can do some changes to it, and they can again update their work or upload their work into the base repository or GitHub. So that is why Git is called a decentralized version control system. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so once we have seen the history, why the Git has been created, and we have also gone through life cycle of a project in the Git in our local to GitHub account, and then we use commands like git initialize, git init, git commit, git add, git status, git merge, push, pull, clone, and also git branch and git checkout. Along with that, we also seen git status and git log. Okay, these are used for to check how your basic Git has been communicated to GitHub. Okay, and we also seen the difference between Git and GitHub, which is again a software and a server, right? And apart from that, is there anything I missed? And we also faced some issues with respect to Git push. Of course, it has been solved. Now, you can suggest any other people how we can push our code into GitHub, right? Anyone explain how did we push the code into GitHub?
Yes,
guys, it's simple. Anyone? Not you, Javed. Guys, any other guys? Anyone can explain how we did push the code into GitHub account?
by doing git remote add origin the code link and then git push you origin main.
Yeah, if at all it occurs for access token error, what we are supposed to do in that by using access token? We are going to use that access token with respect to password. Why this thing has occurred? Because of security purpose and to maintain our code secrecy. Okay, that's pretty much for the day. And any doubt so far? If not, I'll go with the MCQs part. Guys, any doubts?
No, sir, clear.
Okay, anyone, any doubts?
Sir,
Because
please,
I saw some comments
any
yesterday. Yeah.
so please any notes steps to connect GitHub to Gitbash. Any notes?
Okay, I'll do. Who is your CR now? Any CR has been appointed?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. I'll do one thing. There is a notes part in your thing, right? I can up. I don't know how to get these notes to you. Okay, I'll share the links in the chat. You go through those links. Is that working fine? Until your CR has been appointed, because it is work of CR to maintain the notes and all with respect to students' profile. I don't have access to student profile, right? That's the reason. समझ में आया part? Hare Krishna.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So for now, I'll be sharing you the links.
Sir, okay, sir, share.
Okay. But once your CR is available, I'll share the notes with him.
Sir,
Yes,
can I ask you something, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, can you show me how to get out of Nano one more time, sir? I'm doing it repeatedly, but it's not happening.
Okay. It's already late. First, we'll just solve the MCQs and then we'll get back to your doubt. Will that work for you? Because most of them can leave the class, right?
Okay, sir.
We can talk at the end. Okay. Now let's stop the share. First MCQ is up, guys.
Sir, account is deactivated. Showing, sir.
You have to talk to them.
Okay, sir.
After that, you share the screen, sir.
What is that?
MCQ screen.
Huh.
Yesterday you did.
Yeah. Today it won't be happening.
So, sir, those who account are deactivated, they can leave, sir.
Yeah, of course.
But sir, yesterday you did for MCQs
Discussed regarding, I forgot.
No, sir, you After that MCQ, we share
Uh-huh.
the screen of MCQs.
Yes. We'll do the same today also.
Yes, sir.
Second MCQ is up. Clone. Guys, you are done with the second MCQ?
Yes.
Yep. Let's make it with the... Okay, just wait for 10 seconds and we'll start the question.
So only two MCQs?
No. 4 MCQs are must, and so the third comes here. Here comes the third. Do with that. Done with the question? You still have time, you can utilize the whole time.
It's done.
Done.
Okay, so here comes the 1 second, let me check. You can type it. True. Submit. So here comes the fourth question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's just have another extra MCQ just to check status. Okay, are you done with them? True or false? Here
Yes, sir.
comes another MCQ, guys.
Can we do the attendance now?
Yeah, I'm going to create the attendance. One second. Tomorrow's topic is web intro. So guys, I'm giving a link in the resources part. Okay. Just go through that before coming to tomorrow's class. So I have started attendance. You can mark.
So where do we find the resource part?
You have given your student portal, right? Have you have any student portal?
No, there is no such portal. We just have the university portal directly.
Okay. Thing is like, okay, once the attendance is done, can you share your screen? Who Javid? You still have the permissions, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Can you share the screen? Go to the university portal.
Well, actually, the thing is, I'm not able to access that. It's deactivated.
Yours also deactivated.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then.
Well, I think there's an option mark an attendance in the student portal.
Yeah, once you mark with the attendance, you can get the resources, right? What I'm trying to say is like reading materials. In that you'll get. Just check it out, okay? In that you'll be having the go with the reading materials part in your website. Guys, are you going through that?
Yes, I'm looking at it.
I got it.
Okay,
Yeah,
in that you will be having the links that have been shared.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you. So can we call it a day now?
Of course, it is a day.
Okay.
Yeah, we can call it. Any other doubts, guys? And the guy who asked me about Nano.
Sir.
Yeah, you stay back. And if you have any doubts regarding this Git, you can fire ahead or else you can leave. You can call it a day.
Yeah, what's the difference? Is there a difference between Git Bash and Git?
Okay, Git Bash is exclusive Git terminal. Okay. Whereas you can use a Git Bash, which is similar to our Linux terminal. Okay. If you see my terminal here, okay, Git Bash will be similar to this. Why they have provided the Bash is you want to have a universal terminal to access in any OS. Okay, so Git Bash is from Linux based terminal, which help you to do the same work.
Okay, for Windows.
In Windows, instead of going with the command prompt, you'll use Git Bash to access Git easier and faster way. Faster, I won't determine it as a faster thing, but kind of easier way for you to access.
So basically, Git Bash is used for Windows OS, right?
No. Of course, it can be used in anything, but Git Bash is mostly used for other than Linux systems.
Like
Mac OS.
So Mac OS, it has a default terminal, right?
It's again
have
see,
a Git Bash.
Again, see here, Mac, Ubuntu, and some Kali, all these are based on Linux versions. Okay, some changes are made and deployed into a new OS. Are you getting this? Base is Linux, and the changes have been made, and a new OS has been generated. Right. So once you check the origin of how it is working or how is it going on, you'll get a clear idea of what voice is what. Okay. Yeah. And basically, this is Bash is a similar representation of Linux terminal, which help you get interaction with Git easier. That's it.
So when we say Git, what do we actually refer it to?
Software in your laptop.
The software in our laptop.
Yes, in your laptop.
Which is?
Git. So again, guys, have you installed Git? Git is not an exe file.
Attendance created.
What is that?
Is attendance created?
Yes. You can mark. Okay. Ronald, see, if you are you using Windows or Ubuntu?
Windows.
I forgot to add how to add account to Git. Okay, so once you download the Git from GitHub site with respect to Windows, store it in your user profile, program files, and you can be able to access it throughout the folders. Okay, if you do with that, you know, system variables, right? Environment variables में system variables रहता है, user variables रहता है, which is specific to user. You have to go with the system variables and you have to add it in the path.
All right.
By using that, you can access it throughout. Since it is a Linux machine, my machine is Linux, I can't do that. By using sudo itself, I can see Git is already pre-installed in Linux machines. Okay, Ubuntu alone have to be installed manually, but in Mac it will be pre-installed. No need to install or specify any accounts.
Oh, sir.
Huh? Arey yaar, bolo Dinesh.
So, sir, Git is different. Git bash also different.
Okay, see.
Actually,
No, the problem here is the second question.
Once again,
Yeah, Dinesh.
one after the other, please. One
Yeah,
after the
Dinesh.
other.
Yeah, so the second question I got it wrong. So which of the following command line environment is used for interacting with Git? So my question arises saying that what's the difference between Git, Git bash, GitHub? So we learned about all these three.
Okay,
so when we say Git, what are we referring it to? Whether the Git bash or the GitHub?
No. Whenever you're accessing or you're utilizing the word Git, okay, Git is totally referring to Git in your local system. Git software.
Which is Git bash?
No. Again, bash is just a terminal. Okay. See, do you know, do you have any Git UI in your local?
Yeah, I have installed Git bash.
Arey Baba, again, you're circling around. See, just think it as this way. Since I have a folder structure here, okay, I can go manually by using the UI, right? Okay, if it is not having any folder structure, what should I do? I have to go through the terminal, right? So Git bash is just an interaction between Git and GitHub.
All right.
Okay, it doesn't do anything. It's just a terminal. That's it.
So instead of GUI, the navigation that I have is Git bash in my laptop, right?
Yeah, that can be working. That will be working for you.
Yeah.
Okay, what you're trying to say at the end of the question, I'm not getting what your question actually is. Git bash is not a thing to be working on. Okay, Git is your software and GitHub is your remote server. And to connect those two, Git bash is being helpful for Windows and all. Okay.
All right.
Is it at least satisfiable or still doubting?
No, we'll work out right in the later classes. I'll get better clarity.
Can you repeat that, sir? Can you repeat that again?
Okay, so why don't we just browse it and see what is Git bash? Many of you are getting doubt, right? So just check it out. What's Git bash is not
Git bash is just like an app application.
Exactly. Let's see what is Git bash in this case. You'll get right. So see here, Git versus Git bash. So Git bash is a bash environment on Windows or simply a terminal. It lets you to use all Git features in command line plus more standard Unix commands. Okay, so what is it simply implying us to? It is simply implying us that it is a Linux terminal in Windows system, which helps us to connect and utilize Git features to access GitHub. I don't know what to say. There is also a Git GUI, graphic user interface is there, an application which you can download. Check it out for that if you are not interested to use this bash. Okay.
In short, for Windows people who don't have a Git, so they are using the Git bash application.
No.
Okay.
No. Arey Baba, dekho. Dinesh, is your machine a Windows or sorry, J, right? J is
yes.
Okay. Is your Windows machine or what?
Yes, Windows.
Okay. Unfortunately, mine is not Windows. I'm making you a co-host. Share your screen. Share your screen. It will clear the.
Yes, I'm done.
Share your
Okay.
Okay. Open a blank window and share your screen. Sorry. Window in your web.
Okay, which one you want to see? Mine.
Okay. Hold desktop and close all the things.
Okay, just a minute. Where to? I'm new to this one.
Okay,
Hold.
Mhm. Jay, listen, just don't use anything else. There is a share screen button available on your Zoom
Yes.
terminal, right?
Yes.
Click on that and share your screen.
It is asking me for the pop-up windows. Okay, let me check. Okay.
Yeah, click OK for all. Okay, now your screen has been started.
Yes.
Now minimize this. You have installed the Git, right?
Yes.
Okay, and did you updated the so-called environment variables?
I don't think so, sir.
Okay, so where are you? Once, can you type pwd here? Okay, you are in. Close this. Okay, no need. Close this bash. You are in currently in bash, right?
Okay, sir. Just a minute.
Is this bash or not? This is bash.
No. Just a minute, sir. Just a minute.
This is bash.
Yeah, this is bash. Okay, let him do what he's trying to do.
Okay, sir. Can you see my screen?
Of course, we all can see your screen.
Okay, then you want me to search here?
Nothing to be searched. If you can close this bash, I'll help you with something else.
No, just a minute, sir. No, I don't know how to.
Okay, guys, take it as an assignment. Try it on your own and check what is the difference between Git and Git bash. Okay.
No, sir, I'm still in confusion.
Does it make any sense to you all? You have to try on your own. अरे यार explore करो भाई. आज नहीं तो कब करेंगे? Explore करो. Just give me the difference between Git and Git bash in tomorrow's class. Is that going to work out? What's up, Ronald?
No.
Yeah, Javed, does Javed have any input for this?
Javed, you want to give any input? Your friend is asking.
So regarding what Git, well, it's actually a DevOps environment, right? So what happens is here is, if you want to push any change to the GitHub, either you have to use, for Ubuntu users, like we have a terminal. So I think for Windows users, they don't have a terminal. Either they need to install Git or the CMD, but I think the Git is better than that. So that's how you can push your changes to the GitHub or other commands.
Sir.
I am available, Gyanteja.
Hello.
Yep. Who is Dinesh, right? Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, you can use all command in Git bash.
All commands, yes. Most Linux commands will work in Git bash. Linux commands like SD we have learned, right? Terminal commands, some of them. What you have learned in the previous 2 classes.
No, but GitHub, sir, you can use all command in Git bash.
Again, you're confusing between GitHub and Git. Okay, GitHub is a remote. What is available?
GitHub एक सर्वर है, वो मेरे को पता चल गया सर, लेकिन क्या Git और Git bash के अंदर मतलब Git भी एक टर्मिनल है और Git bash भी एक टर्मिनल है. They are same.
Is not CCC. Again, that's what. Guys, let me just clear this confusion. Okay, simple 2 points. Git is a software which is being provided by GitHub to access. And Git has some commands to access GitHub, and to execute these commands in Git, we use Git bash.
Okay. तो सर अभी हम ये काम अब कभी हम मतलब हम Git पे करेंगे और Git bash पे करेंगे?
आपकी मर्जी. Git से करना का तो you have to see, you require some terminal or some third party to access GitHub by using Git. Okay, for that third party, it is going to be Git bash, which is already provided by Git.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah, Imtiaz.
I have a question regarding the merge assignment that you have given.
Module?
No, the merge assignment that you So I'm trying to. So we don't have the access to the repository, to your repository. How will we be able to merge?
What is that? Oh, how you are supposed to add a line to that, right?
Yeah, so I'm trying to.
Yeah, that's, you have to check it out. 4 keys, another option, which is still not yet discussed in the class. You have to check that and you have to do that. Check karo
So
jara.
we don't. You're talking about permission denied.
No. For what?
So I'm trying to I clone the repository sample one.
You're going to push it, right?
Yeah, I'm pushing, but it is not giving me permission.
You can't push it to my
denied.
no. You can't push it to my repository. Push it to your own repository.
Okay.
And then raise
How
a pull
will we able?
request.
Okay.
Okay. आपके repository को push करो और वहां से pull request भेजो.
Okay.
Clear?
Well, I think anyone can fork it.
Yeah, see, that's what I try to do here is, Javed, if I just left it there, they'll search for fork. That's what I thought of. Okay, fine, guys. Call it a day and just break this thing. This discussion is unending. You have to check your doubts. We'll discuss it on tomorrow's class.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Tomorrow after class, I will share the screen. You will just.
No, Dinesh, you're not going to share the screen. You are going to share your inputs in the chat. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. So I think most of the doubts are regarding Git and Git Bash. So check with that. I'll raise the announcement with respect to that links. Go through those links in the announcement. Okay.
Yes.
Hello.
Huh.
So where are you from? Andhra Pradesh.
We'll discuss Gnanateja later. Bye-bye.
Okay, sir. Bye. Take care.
Yeah, guys. Thank you. That's all.